What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray. And this right here is Gray Area Anime. Back with another one. Today, what do I want to talk about today? I'm over here acting like I don't already have a topic picked. What I wanted to talk to y'all about today was some of my favorite characters. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to start like a conversation in the comments and everything about our favorite characters, what they mean and why they mean that. You know, I see a lot of waifu conversations and things of that nature, and I always find it funny about the people we pick to be waifus or just our favorite characters or the people that you kind of want to like succeed or be great and all this other stuff. Today, the way I'm going to do my favorite characters is not like just by, oh, this is my favorite person. I'm doing it more about like impact to me. So like there's something with them that I resonate with or that connects deeply to me. So I'm going to start there. And I'm going to do, I think I can do about 5 of the characters that I have in my head and be able to break them down eloquently enough that you'll kind of get where I'm going with all this. So we're going to start. I'm wondering, do you think I should start, producer, do you think I should start with the lighter or of the characters, or I don't know. I'm not lighter, but you get what I'm saying.
I'd say in order of impact and connectivity.
Okay, like which way? Like lowest to highest in terms of impact? Highest to lowest?
End strong, my good sir. End strong.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, people. Filibuster, executive producer.
Well, while he's doing whatever he's doing, I can tell you guys about one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Give a let's start with you, producer. What's one of your favorite characters?
I have a plethora.
Okay, one. Just pick one. Oh my goodness.
Okay. All right. Fine. All right. Just one. I would say probably Simon from Gurren Lagann and Kamina. I think it's Kamina, if I'm remembering correctly. Those are my two. It's a twofer because you start with one, you end up with the other, you know. But I've always had you do. You start with one that's like that.
Yeah,
He
that
is
was
the man.
always a disappointment.
He is the man. You know, and I don't want to spoil anything. So if you've never seen Gurren Lagann, I didn't. Anyway, if you've never seen it, watch it. But Simon is a great underdog, and I love like anime that start off with an underdog character. I just in general, I am an underdog supporter. I love underdog stories.
Even if I was disappointed by things overall, it's still one of the best animes, period.
It's the first anime that ever made me cry. I didn't know anime could do that. I didn't know until I saw this anime, and this was early for me in my anime journey, that I watched this and was introduced to it. And I don't know if I was introduced or if I just came across it. I don't even remember.
I think from our conversations, I think you were introduced.
The point is,
if I remember correctly,
I watched it, and I didn't know prior to this that anything sad ever happened in anime. I thought it was. I really didn't.
And then she got so addicted that her darkness was awoken.
Wow. Anyways, but point being, Simon is a really great. He's the guy that you least expect to win, but there's something about him that makes him a winner. I mean, right now he's just a digger, but in the beginning of the story, he's just a digger, and the world lives underground. Like I said, just watch it; it's really good. But he digs; that's his job. He's really great at it. He knows he's he doesn't really believe in himself too much. But other people see something in him, and because of circumstances, because of support, the great things that he can achieve start to become evident, and it's pulled out of him through various circumstances, and that I identify with that on a personal level. And so, yeah, I mean, that was a really great character arc. That was a really great show. So Yeah.
It's amazing. Also, the people who did Kill la Kill, if you're wondering.
Yeah, and I love Kill la Kill.
So that's another like connection of just how good they are with building their characters and their design style, which is there's a lot of unmistakable design styles that you'll start to recognize that we'll start talking about. One of these days we're gonna say like favorite, amount of series and stuff because she'll get to eventually where she's watched enough series, multiple series of one creator.
Kill la Kill is the best.
But I'm gonna start with who am I gonna start with? I'll start with in order. I'll start with Ketra from Gundam Wing. I'll start with him because it's like he's not the main character. He's just a character I love and connected with instantly because he's like that soft-spoken kid that is in this war and like he is super empathetic, but he still does his duty. They're in the middle of war. Like he literally is blowing people up. You know that there are deaths going on.
People are dying.
But
it's not a
game. He's not detached from it, which I think is a hellish place to exist in when you're that empathetic, but you know you have to do this. But he's just an amazing character. I love how loyal his followers are around him because I think he's a prince from somewhere on top of everything. And it's really impactful, and I always use that word, but I mean that in the truest sense, that when you're in the middle of war and you have this dynamic character who can feel the emotions of the people, it's like the sense of duty being stronger than your own emotions, while still having them, because war can make you emotionless. PTSD is running rampant in a lot of people because of the fact that you need to turn off your emotions. You were watching random G.I. Jane recently, and that's kind of like the whole thing that they were trying to say to me as to why she couldn't be great and blah 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 and all this other stuff on top of everything else. But it's like this emotionless is what people will put up on a pedestal,
right?
And so to have that emotion in the middle of all this was amazing to me. And of course his Gundam is my favorite, so Sandrock for the win.
I just think it's pretty cool that they don't, like, anytime you don't divorce the emotion from the severity of what you're experiencing. I think that creates a dynamic show and a dynamic character arc again, like just a really great story, because I think especially in anime it can be easy to just get caught up in the body count without feeling any of the consequences of it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like playing a video game. You're killing a lot of people and it doesn't bother you because you're not affected by what you're seeing. It's very distant from you. So when you have at least one character who is affected, it reminds you that no, this is for them, this is real. For them, this is a very human experience that they're going through. And I think that changes the dynamic of the story.
This is random, but you know who does that well? But makes you like, sometimes they want you to be empathetic, but other times they make you forget that people are actually dying, is One Piece.
Yep.
One Piece is like,
especially after, the turn, after the war.
I mean, no, before then, because
like really
Alabasta was
hardcore,
way
but
hardcore.
After the war, I feel like they just started throwing bodies on bodies at people. Like before that,
Alabasta
you might have
crazy.
seen. Well, yeah, I guess Alabasta was the
like
first.
If you think about, but I'm saying like in the way that
the fact that there were mass amounts of people dying,
in the way that they like show it in the middle of that war, and like you're like, oh snaps, and then there are so many people. It's like, I'm gonna do it for this guy or that person or whatever. Like, think about Water 7, and then again, that's pre-war too.
Yeah, but Water 7, never mind. I think about Enies Lobby.
Well, I'll connect that too, but Enies Lobby, like, everybody essentially made it out,
except the people in the Navy. Like majority of them did, but I think that the difference is like when there are citizens who are dying versus the Navy dying, it's like it's different. in
or
One
even
Piece. For me. Like,
Ohara.
It's like
Ohara being attacked.
yes, like
was
but,
like that. It was like I'm saying like, but they did it in such a way that like, oh, this was back in the day, and because we know that our main characters are going to survive. Anyway, we're getting off on a tangent, but the point is, like,
I mean, but really, the bodies wasn't. You became primed
amazing.
For the number of bodies.
Yeah.
By
the war after
by
that.
Alabasta.
Well,
But I'm saying
the
war
Alabasta made it become
first.
Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, at that point, if you if you get the reference, you get the reference. Like, because at that point they were like, what?
Now it's getting real.
So anyway.
Back to the favorite characters.
But back to the favorite characters. So number one, or not number one, but not even least important, but the number one that I talked about was Ketra from Gundam Wing. Next, I'm gonna go into. I think I'll do Gohan here, because Gohan has a lot of impact, because of potential. Whereas Ketra, I think, dude was just good at what he did. Like, it wasn't. No matter what, everybody that was on, all of the 5 young men they sent to be in the Gundams were fully equipped to do the job that they needed to do. Gohan, on the other hand, is the reluctant, strong person, and I resonate with that because a lot of the time, a lot of people will tell me that I have good leadership qualities and so on and so forth, but I don't necessarily believe that. Because I just, I want to work and do what I'm supposed to do. And, but Gohan's thing was Piccolo and Goku kind of saw his latent abilities, things that were tied to his emotions, and realized that if he controlled his emotions, that he could be even more powerful than his dad. And this is essential in the Cell arc in the most amazing way, where he goes to a level that no one had gone to, in Super Saiyan 2, which honestly Goku was probably able to do it because he so easily did it, in the following saga. But Gohan went through the most rigorous process of being raised by Piccolo. Shout out to the black dads. Raising kids that ain't their own. But he came up in this way that was like, nah, man, you're stronger than you think. Like, you're crying all this time. Like, stop. You don't have to cry all the time. Like, use that emotion and channel it and become great, because you are great. The fact that you love your friends and want to protect people is something that can give you strength that's greater than anything you've ever thought of. While Goku just fights because he loves fighting. Sometimes he is mad and upset and wants to protect people, but majority of the time he just fighting. Whereas like Gohan is like, no, I don't really want to fight, but you're not finna mess with my friends. You gonna chill out. He's just getting out there and he's all like, that's Goku, but still. But and he was just super strong. So like watching the Cell Saga, I remember how excited I got when I saw Super Saiyan 2. And it's just in this pivotal moment of what's finally sent him over the edge to like, all right, you wanted me, here I go. Mm-hmm. You wanted it, here I am. And then like he starts kicking the pure crap out of everything. Everyone. Like, nobody was being spared. It was like, screw you guys, it's my time. Like, you wanted this, here you go. You found you an opponent that you can't beat, and I'm about to kick everybody's ass. And it was amazing. Like, the character design of what Super Saiyan 2 looked freaking fantastic. At that point, like, I've always enjoyed like the fast characters. Like, you can't touch me, you're fast, or I can fly. Like, the overly strong characters that's not really my bag. Like, being technically skilled and better than you is something that I think excites me in a certain way. And I connect with him because it's just like, I wanted to have this latent potential, this power up.
Well timed.
Thank you. A level up. or any of these things. I wanted all of these things. An extra life.
Oh my Lord.
Sorry, I ran out, but
Got a little excited there.
I wanted that, and it
Yeah.
was like so freaking cool, like to see this kid being stronger than everybody, exceeding his father at the time, being the strongest Saiyan out of all the people that were there. And there was some heavy hitters there in Goku, Vegeta, Trunks. And he was that guy. Like, now, again, like I said, the moment lasted very fleetly, because when we finally got to him being the strongest, I mean, it literally only lasted, I think, about 10, 15 episodes before, like, the saga was kind of over, and Goku essentially kind of helped, but
Is that debatable or something? I haven't seen.
It's not. We'll watch it eventually, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's one of those like, oh man, you had to do it like this. Okay, Akira, whatever you want, Mr. Toriyama, have fun. Yeah, sure.
All right, now don't get the internet started on this.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, it's one of those like we all have this like thing where we're all pissed at Gohan because the next time he gets in a position to actually be effective, he gets cocky.
Oh.
And then
you hate to see it.
And then it's like, yeah, you got cocky one time. Now, yeah, you're ineffective. We're gonna let Goku and Vegeta save the day again. And it's like, all right, man.
Great.
So, but all in all, like, he was just a cool dude who still he reminds me a lot of Samson. In that way of like
in the Bible, guys.
Yeah. For those who don't know.
For those who don't know that. Because, I mean, they could be thinking you're talking about a cousin or a neighbor. Or a pup.
That's strange. But anyway, but yeah, he was amazing in that way of like he had a lot of stuff that he didn't want to do. Like, he still wanted to go to school because that's what his mom wanted him to do. She wanted him to study. She didn't want him out here training to be a fighter and all this other stuff. And it was just really cool and endearing. So Gohan was the second one that I mentioned. Now we're going to get into the heavy hitters. In our sports conversation, I don't know if this episode has come out before or after then. Who knows? I'm so random. But I talked about iShield 21. And in there is Senna, Senna. I'm just going to call him Senna. That's his name.
Yeah.
And the reason I connect to him is because I wasn't necessarily bullied. I won't go out and say I was outright bullied. I mean, I had people that didn't like me. And I had situations that I went through, but bullied,
Senna Kobayakawa?
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, you could have just showed it to me, and I could have tried instead of you, But executive producer
doesn't like it when I say their names.
She's
the
so
character names.
bad.
I try, guys. I really do. I'm gonna get better because I really want to know how to. I really like saying people's names correctly, and I suck at it. So
it's bad. But she tries, and that's an endearing thing.
Indeed.
What?
Stop it.
I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes when she speaks, it just comes out. But yeah, so he was he reminds me a lot of Gohan in certain ways because his latent potential for like finally facing his problems, finally facing the fact that he has a weakness and overcoming it. That's where I connected with him because it's like you're faced with all these different things and you need to overcome. And he does in so many different ways in training. Like, think about this. A kid who, like, the nerdiest kid in your class playing football and has never played and is, like, really good at it because of just natural instincts of how they may live their life. Like, they may run away from everything or try to stay away from conflict and the like. And there's, again, the same thing like with Gohan. You can channel your emotions. You can channel your fears. You can stop running. You can face these things, overcome them, and become stronger. Because you finally start to see what everyone's seen in you. And his character arc is just amazing because you see him struggle with hitting the wall of, oh, this thing that I was naturally good at, now I have to figure something else out. And now I have a rival, and now I want to beat that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I've grown to that. Whereas this camaraderie that is often forced in a lot of different ways. You know, sports sometimes can force camaraderie in ways that I don't agree with, but you know, it's the same. You know, you would arrive for these people, you lay your life on the line for these people. Hopefully it's mutual everywhere and it isn't just constituted on what you can do for that person.
Mm-hmm.
But he just exudes that feeling. And like I said, everything you learn, all the people that he draws in, because they're like, hey bro, you really good at this. Like, I want to beat you. Like, we gotta want to beat you. Like, and having these people that are respecting you for what it is you do, your craft, this craft that you didn't even know you had. Like, people are like, hey man, you're actually kind of good at this. So that's where I draw my inspirations from him. And the first three are obviously very much connected to me and how I grew up in being a blurred. New term alert. Listen, I'm a little salty, but it's fine. I'm only salty just because.
Oh my gosh.
You know, we weren't allowed to be blurs back in the day. It was like, man, you watching that? What's wrong with you?
I keep trying to explain to him that it's because the change in connectivity has allowed blurs everywhere to connect.
Hey, listen.
I'm just saying.
Hey, listen.
Anyway.
Blurs unite.
But yeah, so that made me feel like I existed in a way. Like, you know, like people see you, you know, and that's the kind of thing that I felt from him. It's like people still see you. Whereas Gohan was more about like the emotional aspects of what I connect to. Ketra was on the like sense of duty. Senna is the finally facing your fears aspect. And now we get to the lowest of the aspects. Which is lowest. Well, technically, like
the deepest. Is that what you mean? Like,
sure, the deepest. Subaru, Natsuki Subaru from ReZero. Man, listen,
my dude.
If there was not a person that I like, he's my spirit anime animal. Cause that dude there. Now, a lot of my admiration from him in terms of like when I really was like, oh no, this dude is that that's me, was from our reading, because the anime has gotten nowhere near where the novels are.
Oh my gosh.
Season 2, hurry your funk ass on.
Speaking of those of you out there translating, please get back to it. I can't find you, Witch Cult.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Tweet these things. This ain't the platform.
I don't know how to get in touch with Witch Cult translation, but they need to get it together.
Well, Chicken need to come back.
Chicken needs to come back too.
Because you're the best.
They shouldn't. Everybody
else
down.
is just trying
Witch
to
Cult
be
is
you.
good, but anyway.
Everybody else is trying to be Chicken, but anyway. So everything about his character arc is things that I've gone through. He is reclusive to a huge degree. And I know what that's like. I've been there. I've ostracized myself. It took me forever to do this podcast because of certain reclusive actions that I was taking. But when he has someone that he has to work for, when he can, you know, forget his own troubles for a second just to try and fulfill his duty, I connected with him. You know, I connect with that sense, that strong sense of I can't do nothing for myself, but I can do everything for you. I will sacrifice this, you know, this thing. And you're doing it because somewhere along the line, you feel connected to where your things will be healed. If I can just do this, all the wrongs, all the things that I'm afraid of, all the things that I think are lesser in myself will fall away.
Right.
And people, the people that are connected to you, see what you can be and see the things that you do, see that you need to stop being so reckless. It's what my wife, Prima Diva, aka, well, actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about that.
Okay.
So Prima Diva is sugar sass and sarcasm. When she's here on Gray Area Anime, she will here now be referred to as Gray Rose.
No,
And moving
what?
on.
That's too much.
Doesn't matter.
Prima Diva.
No, it's fine.
Call me Prima Diva.
Don't do that. Just call her Gray Rose. Gray Area Anime, Icarus Gray and Gray Rose.
Oh,
Yeah.
I won't be Gray Rose on Twitter.
You don't have to be Gray Rose on Twitter. You're Gray Rose here. Yes, I know. Anyway. But he just, the way he builds his confidence, the way he's broken down, like I've been there.
Yeah.
And it just helps me to kind of, recognize you in a lot of different ways for how you help me, and the things that I want to do for you, the things that because you're my Amelia in that sense, or my Rim personally.
Yeah, I'd like to be the Rim since you ride so hard for Rim.
Team Rim.
Yeah,
Team
but I mean, me
Rim.
saying that out loud, that sounded very.
I mean, you said it. But yeah, so that's where I connect to him on that level, is just I've been that person. I've been that otaku that, like, I live in my anime. There's a lot of us that are probably listening to this that you probably are listening to this because you want to feel connected with somebody. You watch anime and that's all you got some days. I've been there. And that's where I like these representations of characters. Last but not least, I only got a little bit of time to talk about this person, and this person is going to get a whole episode at some point just because, well, the series itself is. We're here to talk about Portgas D. Ace, or Roger D. Ace, if you will.
Interesting.
But it's Portgas.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ace was the coolest thing I have ever seen in anime. Spoiler alert, because I have to talk about him to talk about him.
So if you are concerned about that, cut this off right
if
now.
You haven't
we'll
watched,
give you 2
if you
seconds.
have not watched One Piece and gotten up to right before the 2 years of time skip, I'd
stop listening.
Like
Now.
if the last thing you've watched is Shibodi Archipelago,
Yeah.
then you should stop right now. But anyway, Ace is Luffy's older brother. He's introduced as his older brother. He comes in, he's just super duper cool. He seems like he's got it all together in certain ways while also being a complete and utter dunce, without a care in the world. Just cool. Like one of those people that you're like, he's basically that uncle that comes into town that's like, he's the fun uncle, but your mom or your dad is always like, man, that dude need to get his life together. Like he doesn't have a job. He's just traveling across. No, well, I mean, yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
He
like
was
the feeling of,
respectable.
yeah, no, but I'm saying like the way he acts, you wouldn't know it until it's time for him to be respectable and whatever. So Ace, so he's introduced. I immediately feel like, man, this is the big brother I wish I had. And he's just that dependable. He's that strong. And like, he was such a great character, that spoiler alert,
You've been warned.
That when he died, it gave the first real emotional connection to the series.
Yeah.
There were deaths because they were all flashbacks. And so you would kind of be like, okay, well, I see why this person is like this or why whatever. And now we're all just sitting here like, why? Like now we're like, why?
Yes, because
in a real moment, like this is the first time we're like, wait a minute, what?
Right? Right?
You know,
He's not gonna get, like, literally. I was standing there looking at the thing, like, he's not getting back up. Why is he not getting back up?
you know, like
What is going
wait,
on?
wait, what? We did all this and we lost?
You kidding me right now? I
And
was so mad.
like he was just amazing. Like as you were talking about earlier with Gurren Lagann, it's the first time I well, probably not the first time, but I cried.
Yeah.
Like it hit.
Yeah.
It hit hard.
And I knew. I went into it knowing what was going to happen, and I still cried.
Like a year before, because I think I started watching around that time, or
And
rewatching around that
I
time.
had seen it.
Yeah.
Randomly, I had seen what was going on.
Yeah, because
when
I
it
was
was still
watching
playing on.
around
Well,
then,
no. When it was playing on Cartoon Network before I had really
Oh.
started watching
Oh,
anime.
we
This
talked
was
about that, yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I know what's happening here. I know what they're there to do, and I feel like I know how this is going to end. But I had not started actually watching One Piece yet.
Yeah, it took her
And then I
12
watched
years
it
after that to actually start watching One Piece.
because I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing
But
there.
he was like, he's like the big brother you wish you had.
Yeah.
The one that like protects you and is just cool.
Yeah.
Like is caring, that has the strong sense of duty. He had everything that the other characters that I mentioned have, except for like the low moment. Like he picked up and did what he had to do. He also had daddy issues, which
Yeah.
you know I can relate to on so many different levels. But
Yeah.
like, you know, taking his mother's last name, there were so many different levels to his character that are even being revealed now in the latest arc, and he is just the general epitome of a character to me.
Yeah.
He is literally my favorite all time character in anime, because he is just awesome. I can't say enough glowing things about this character and how he was introduced, how he was like literally impactful on a million different levels, like in terms of who he was, where he was, what he started, people that cared for him, people that rode for him, people he brought together, things he spearheaded. Like he is the literal catalyst for the growth of the series.
Right.
Like without his death and everything, we don't get to a lot of the places that we are now. And even some of the subsequent growth, like there are a couple moments of backtracking, but you know that's because again it's a long running series and Luffy is Luffy. But like to see Luffy the way he was and to the way he is now in a lot of different ways, I just attribute that to Ace, and that makes him one of the most amazing characters that I've ever had the chance to see, read, and just enjoy. So yeah, I went a little bit longer on this episode than I normally do, but I was talking about Ace, so what do you expect, guys? But yeah, I have more of these that I'll do because I do have more favorite characters. I've watched so much anime that it is ridiculous, and we'll just talk favorite characters because this time I want to talk about the characters that had an impact on me. Because if I could just go into favorite characters, that list can go on for forever.
Yes.
But I wanted to do impact. I want to hear about the characters that have impacted you in the comments or wherever you're reading or not reading, listening to this. Because I want to talk about it because that's huge, man. We're all here because of how anime has brought us together, what it showed us, what confidence it gave us, why we love it. So let's have that discussion. We'll see you guys next time, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.